We are here after a little brick kissing weekend. A couple Christian boys kissed some bricks this weekend. The He Gets Us car wins the Xfinity race. And then the guy that used to be sponsored by K-Love wins. So it's a big weekend for the religious community. Michael McDowell gets his second career win at the Indianapolis road course, getting through lap traffic and running away from Chase Elliott. Chase caught him in the last lap pretty aggressively, but just wasn't enough. It wasn't the first time that I had seen my favorite driver not have enough time to pass somebody at that track. Of course, it was a different layout of the track previously. Thinking about Jeff Gordon in 2011 trying to get Paul Menard, which was another one that excited me a lot and then broke my heart. But yeah, we had Michael McDowell win, locking himself in the playoffs. He was the cut line before at the 16th spot on the playoff grid. That moves Bubba Wallace down to 16th with another road course in play, which I think that, if we don't get any new winners, which I think we will, he would be tough for him on points with the Watkins Glen, which road courses are not his strong suit. I'm joined by Ryan today. Hello, Ryan.
How's it going?
I'm joined by Mr. Jones down there in the bottom left. He seems excited. And Maddie's here. How you doing, Maddie?
Doing good.
Yeah. We'll be joined by Wessel and Tegan. Wessel and Sal.
Don't get me mixed up with that Mexican.
We'll be joined by them in a few minutes. They're both actually stuck in traffic. So we'll be hearing from them in a little bit. We'll go around the horn here. What are our thoughts on the race? I thought it was a really good race. I enjoyed it. No cautions. It had a flow to it. You had strategy. You had three cars that I think were dominant with McDowell, Elliott, and Suarez, and I found that to be interesting. A bit tough to pass, I'd say, at times, evident by Daniel Suarez having to just obliterate Chase Elliott to get by him. So, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the Indianapolis road course race that we had yesterday?
Definitely one of the better Indy road course races. I've never been a fan of that track since they decided to go to the road course, but it was definitely a better one that it produced strategy, like you said. And then you got to see the three guys that are really strong at road courses, McDowell, Suarez, and Chase Elliott, who finally showed some strength for once, some winning speed out of Chase Elliott today.
This dude was going to strip.
What was he doing? What's going on?
My laptop wasn't charging. The charger was plugged in, but it wasn't plugged in all the way. So my thing's already on like 10% battery life. So we're gonna be some maneuvering here.
We're gonna see a standing Maddie today.
This is awesome.
Sit down,
but
Pull up the rocking chair, Matt.
This looks like on a TV show when somebody gets kidnapped and has their hands behind the chair, type chair.
Right. But
Matt looks like he's got a job interview now.
But anyway, you got to see three guys who were probably the top three cars of the day. And you got to see some fun. We got to see Blaney say "F you" to Allmendinger. You got to see Stenhouse do some stuff, proving that we won the Revolutionary War in World War II.
Right.
And then Logano.
As if what Oppenheimer did wasn't enough. Stenhouse had to rub it in.
And then obviously Logano too had some fun, apparently.
Yeah.
I missed that part of the race. But I did see Stenhouse.
Oh boy. Logano had a rough first 15 laps. Tegan, what were your thoughts? I know you are a oval stan. So I know you don't. You didn't. I think there's a place for both of them, but I'll get into that in a little bit. What are your thoughts?
It was a whole hum race.
I mean,
if we get any more road courses that run with no yellows, the people that were bitching about us having yellows at stages are going to be coming back saying, okay, we need them back. I like the yellows and the no yellow at the stage break. This road course is just it don't produce good racing. It either doesn't produce good racing because people are fucking wrecking each other or they're not wrecking enough. Y'all talking about it had strategy. Everybody had to make the same amount of stops. Fresh tires didn't fucking matter. There was no strategy. Where you qualified is where you were running. That's what it come down to.
I wouldn't say that.
Have you not? You literally send me every week the median lap bullshit. Did you not look at that today?
I didn't. No.
Yeah. Chase Elliott was in the back of the top 10 but compared to the people that were running the fastest lap.
Well, they were also dealing with traffic there on that last run, and the median lap that they show is usually the last period of the race. So,
it said the whole 82 lap race.
Yeah, but McDowell and Elliott had a heavier lap traffic than most of those guys did, though.
Still, I mean, it's time to ditch the Indy road course. It's good for Xfinity, not good for Cup. Even put trucks on it. Fuck it. Put trucks on it. Let them damn things wreck on a road course instead of a fucking oval. But Cup does not belong on the oval.
Okay, I think that they should stay there. I think that they should definitely have the oval also. I'm not saying that shouldn't come back. I think that's a prestigious race. That's a crown.
I just don't think you can go there twice when everybody's bitching about other tracks going there having 2 races still.
That's fair. But it's like it would be like Charlotte, which I don't think anybody's complaining about right now. But what would you think about maybe having Xfinity go there and that be the doubleheader next year with
Cup?
Hey Sal, with IndyCar.
I mean,
have Xfinity on Saturday and then IndyCar on Sunday.
If the ticket package is pretty good, I think that can work. I just don't think it's going to work for Cup. The stands were empty compared to what it has been the last couple of years. So I think like the dirt at Bristol, I think the Indy Roval has run its course. Because is there really a good seat? I had somebody there that was sending me snaps, and he was literally on the backstretch coming out of the chicane, and you just see the top of the cars going by. You couldn't even tell who they were. I didn't tell him what he paid for them seats because it's the Indy. Even a road course is you're probably paying good prices for.
That's a good point. Is we were talking, my grandfather and I watching the race. We're talking about like where would you sit there? It's
exactly
tough. Even on the oval, like there's not really.
Yeah.
The best seat would be like in turn 1.
You'd have to sit up high.
4. Yeah, you'd have to sit in a turn, I think, and high.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think people are going to pay that just to see the top of cars.
Right. That's.
I'm not. Now I would go to the Brickyard on the oval. I do think they're going to have to.
Oh, we got a party now! Everybody.
I do think they're going to have to move the race to where it ain't so fucking hot because that's what's killing people from going to races anymore.
You got
Who wants to sit in 100 degrees?
We do.
You can't get drunk without getting sick. So I'm not talking experience. I'm talking about other people around. I can't hear Mike.
Yeah. You can't hear me?
I can now. It's a little laggy, but
anyway.
I just think they need to look at moving the Brickyard to maybe a fall race.
Brickyard 400 playoff cut line race?
I mean, it has been before.
It was the cutoff to the playoffs a few years ago.
Oh, you talking about like a cutoff in the playoffs? I won't go that far. I won't waste a prestige race for that, but I'd run it late somewhere.
Okay. Sal and Wessel are here now. What do we want to do first? Sal, tell me about the race. What did you think?
It was good. I liked it.
I did too.
I liked we went almost completely green. Thanks, Joey.
Dude, what a menace.
Wasn't he the one that was having problems with turn 1?
I'm so glad he took himself out that restart because who knows what else this guy would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a decent race. Chase was close. Like that close.
Mike Rockenfeller. Chase wasn't happy with him. I guess he hit him on the cooldown lap.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing too.
Apparently, wasn't some happy fellas after that race. I heard that Ty Gibbs went up there and waved that chain, and he thought it was a good wave for a second. The middle finger came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Which Ty Gibbs was hauling ass. He was the only one that was actually making some passes, considering he got spun under green and come back to finish, 11th and 12th? 11th or 12th, so he was hauling ass.
I think Ty Gibbs was a little out of line for that. I don't think SVG could have really done anything in that incident. It was kind of Logano had hit whoever was like, it was kind of like the accordion effect that happened there last year that caused wrecks. Anyway, Wessel, what were your thoughts on the race? You seem like you're chowing down over there.
Got some Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
I did not get to watch the race because it ended right when I got off work, so I missed the whole race. I was trying to listen to it on MRN, but wasn't really picking up most of it.
Okay.
So
now it's time.
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what happened the entire race.
Michael
You didn't
McDowell
miss
won.
nothing.
I know McDowell won, but that's all I know. That's the only thing I know.
And
about
Suarez bumped Elliott and a lot of good it did him because then he fucked his pick. He fucked him, so that's all you missed.
It sounded like Suarez was pretty fast for most of the
I
race.
think Suarez was faster than Elliott and McDowell.
He was the fastest for sure.
Reddick actually was pretty fast towards the end. I thought he was making.
He caught the 99, but then I think he lost him
out of
again.
it again.
Who? Reddick?
Not Reddick,
No,
Suarez.
Reddick just didn't start off well, which I was kind of surprised about. But now it's time. I'm so excited that we get to do this since Matt's here. Just the music? Yeah, it is. All right, it's time. Matty's two dudes.
All right. Our first dude, we're going to go with Michael McDowell.
Okay.
He had about what equates to right around 68%
Wow, he picks the
of the
winner. What a
last year.
dude.
Certainly made life interesting for the people on the playoff bubble. So that'll make it exciting here the next 2 weeks. And then my second dude, I'm going to give it to Daniel Suarez. He had a very strong race. If it wasn't for his pit crew, there's a good chance he probably could have won the race. It's hard to say he had a good day on points just because with McDowell winning, it kind of threw everything in a loop. But overall, he did have a really good day on points. But now we go to another road course where him, McDowell, and Chase, your top three here, and even Reddick, so your top four are all very good. So this could definitely throw the playoff in for another loop. But we'll go with Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez here this week.
All right. Thank you, Matt. What are your thoughts on the race as a whole, Matt? As I said, I think I enjoyed it. I thought it kept my attention the whole time because it was the most like F1 NASCAR race you could have watched. A lot of green runs. It seemed like it was tough to pass, but you could see the marginal gains people were making. It was about having to get through traffic. I was enjoying it the whole time, and you had all the storylines of the international drivers in there. What were your thoughts on the race as a whole, Matt?
Yeah, it was kind of boring in the aspect of like you're not seeing a lot of passing.
Tegan smiling down there.
From that aspect, it's kind of boring. But like you said about the gains and everything like that, it was interesting because Chase was able to finally get on McDowell after a little bit of time.
Let's be honest, McDowell wasn't pushing it that last lap or two.
Yeah,
so
yeah. But, and then he also had lap traffic as well for a little bit. I was probably most impressed that race with what Ty Gibbs was able to do when he got spun around in that Joey Logano.
Dude, he was hauling.
incident
he was
thing.
back there with fucking Harvick and them in 30th.
I was just about to say that. Like he was 31st when that popped around, and then he came back to finish 12th. Like he was moving for sure. So he's probably the guy overall I was most impressed with. But I didn't think it was terrible. Ricky Stenhouse was one of the most electrifying road racers yesterday. That man just had it out for international flavor. He just wanted to be Americans only, apparently. But he was out to get everybody else. So that was interesting. But yeah, it was kind of just like a race to me. You didn't get much passing. But
did SVG beat Brody?
Yes, SVG had a
I
top
think he
10.
was the top. Yeah, I think he was the top
10th. Where did
international
Brody
driver.
finish?
Kostecki was like mid-teens, I think.
Oh.
So it wasn't bad.
Who's ready to piss?
SVG actually had throttle issues during the race. So
Yeah,
Kostecki finished.
It wasn't responding.
Kostecki finished 22nd, and Rockenfeller finished 24th.
Dumbass.
Jensen Button finished 28th, and Mr. Kobayashi finished 33rd.
Okay. Let's talk about Jensen Button for a minute. All right. A lot of the international guys or guys coming to NASCAR for the first time are like unwilling to really kind of like engage in some of the NASCAR antics. Jensen Button was not having any of Ricky Stenhouse's shit, and I am totally here for it. He went and fucking got him right back. I was like, let's fucking go, Jensen. I love that. But speaking of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I think that leads us into our next segment.
Is he a bonehead? He's a bonehead, isn't he?
He's got to be. It's Tegan's boneheads.
I'm not full screen yet because I'm not on mine. Okay. So I really didn't have a bonehead for this race because it was nothing going on except for Ricky Stenhouse, Joey Logano, and I guess that's it. Joey Logano was a bonehead for 15 laps and he just fucking quit. Stenhouse, he made sure he made the end of the mid race and the end of the race kind of entertaining. He is our go-to when there ain't enough shit going on. If there's no drama, call Ricky. If there's not enough red cars, call Ricky. If you need a caution at a plate race, call Ricky. So yeah, them little boneheads. Just it's nothing bad. I mean, there was no caution for their boneheadedness. It's just stupidity, I guess. I mean, Stenhouse, got spun twice? Once? I can't remember. He's such a bonehead. I can't keep up with his spins. Joey must have ran the car for Penske this week that didn't have the right shit in it. They must have been short on parts because he spun out that second time. All you saw was fucking pieces going everywhere, and then he wasn't worth a fuck after that. So he just gave the fuck up and said, you know what, I'm just gonna putt around this bitch and what's the word that Bradley called it? Puttering. So those are my two boneheads. Yeah, puttering.
All right, thank you, Tegan.
Did Rodney not do anything this week that you didn't like?
Who?
Rodney
Childers.
Mm-hmm.
He's always a bonehead. He could have literally kept Harvick out late in the second stage with Brad and Hamlin, and he got stage points. And now Brad's 3 points behind him when it's looking like it's going to come down to them two making it in on points compared to somebody else winning in the next 2 weeks. So that was kind of a bonehead move on Rodney's part. But his first pit stop the first pit stop he made kind of fucked him from the get-go. Eric Emerald's on the same thing and actually ran out with 2 laps to go and went like 3 laps down. So it's just Stuart Haas. They're just the crew chiefs over there is like fucking watching a monkey fuck a football. So and they're all taking turns. And Tony Stewart's the fucking football. So
hey,
we've got some honorable boneheads. I like it.
Yeah, it's Stuart Haas.
The only Stuart Haas non-bonehead was fucking Briscoe because he finished 6th.
Yeah, good drive.
Briscoe has always been pretty good there, though.
Yeah, he won the first Xfinity Series race there, right? He
almost won 2021.
When me and Harris just started to feed some drama that didn't need to feed into, just for the shits and giggles of it.
Yeah. Tegan, that call Ricky bit, I think is one of my favorites that you've had.
Which part? Oh, to call Ricky? Just call Ricky. That's going to be my new motto. Just call Ricky.
Like, now we're going to have these. There's going to be a new segment now. If Ricky wrecks somebody or something like that, we're just going to say, call Ricky.
1-800 call Ricky.
Yeah. Hey, but Ricky's having a good year. I mean, he's in the
playoffs.
He didn't have a good race.
No, he didn't. All that international flavor that NBC was talking about, Ricky
got a taste
none of it.
Don't tell me Rick Allen brought up international flavor again. Did he?
They showed the same graphic about 4 times.
Because there was nothing going on during the race. They had plenty of fucking time.
Come on. you're ridiculous.
The only good thing about that race was fucking, and all y'all, you and Sal are the only ones that's going to agree because your fucking cocksucking driver was the only one that had a chance there at the end to win, besides McDowell. That's the only reason why. If he was back in 20th with a fast fucking car but nowhere to go, y'all would have been like, bring back caution, bring back caution. We need stage cautions back. Fuck this shit. Don't give me that bullshit.
I wouldn't have said that first of all.
I wouldn't, because I've actually been one of the biggest fans. You go way back to the first road course of them getting away from these cautions at stage on road courses.
Yeah,
I
which
think
is fine.
fantastic.
If you're on a road course that actually can pass and have tire wear, this does not have it.
Coda was really good.
I would have rather watched them go around in circles caution free on the oval. Just my opinion.
So I don't know
When
if y'all
somebody
talked
kissing the
about it.
bricks, they need to be kissing the bricks because they ran the oval, not because they ran some fucking bullshit corners in the middle of the fucking racetrack.
So I don't know if y'all talked about it before me and Sal joined. Is Indy Road Course dead?
It's dead.
Yeah, for NASCAR.
I think it's going out. I think Xfinity is fine there. Xfinity, that car produces good racing. It don't matter where
That
it's at.
car can put on a good show anywhere.
Exactly.
that's
That's
a good
fine. Xfinity needs to stay there. Maybe even take the trucks there. They tear their shit up anyway. Let them have fun on the fucking road course. And hell, run fucking backwards. Hell, invert them half and half. Who gives a shit? They're going to tear them up either way.
This is
Cup does not belong on the
This
road.
is the Tony Stewart quote. Fucking turn half the field around.
You're going to figure 8 race.
That's
Figure
what they
40.
should do. That's what
Yeah,
they should
we're
do
gonna-
with the trucks. To be honest,
We're gonna bring
I mean-
Wreckfest to real life.
that's right. Lawless Allen's gonna cook.
Carson Hocevar.
That'd be the one race Deegan wouldn't reckon. This is figure 8 one. She'd find a way to just like
She'd
not-
win.
Puttering around. Go, don't touch me, I'm a girl.
Jesus Christ. Sensitivity training.
Just add it to my list.
Yeah, it does.
It's
For
all
real. That's a-
digitalized now. I can do it.
That sounds like the Natalie Decker Bristol one. Oh my god! What the fuck?
I don't know
then
what's
there-
going on. I'm taking my shit off.
Yeah, that was awesome. But for real though, Michael McDowell had we're at a point when that it wasn't. He's always been a good road course racer and he's run well, but that was a top car from Front Row Motorsports they put on the track. When Michael McDowell executed the race as well as he could, and he won. I mean, it was an impressive show from them. Just impressive from the team, considering I was listening to Actions Detrimental today with Michael McDowell. I didn't get through all of it, but hearing some of the lack of resources that they have, it's crazy. Their sim time with Ford is on Thursdays, so they can't actually apply it to the car. The car's already loaded up and on the way to the track.
So they need to be a week behind then.
Exactly. So, I mean,
Or get a week ahead, actually, not behind, but
Yeah, week ahead.
so I mean, it's impressive for them to do that, and I don't think I forget who tweeted this out, but I don't think that would be possible without the next gen car.
Fun fact
so-
about Michael McDowell.
Okay, Matty facts.
Since the next gen car has been a thing, he has scored the most points on road course races out of any driver.
I think he had that stat before this weekend, too.
He did.
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah.
added it a little bit more.
Tegan, are you gonna need to get out of here about now?
Yeah, I'm going to have to hop off. So I will
Alrighty.
talk to y'all later.
Thanks
Where
for
you
giving us an
going?
entertaining
Where you
25
going?
minutes.
I love you.
Love you,
Where are
Sal.
you going?
I got
You
a
gotta go
birthday
to-
dinner to go to.
Where? What's the
Oh,
restaurant
happy
called?
birthday,
Oh.
Spencer.
Los Amigos.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a total hater on the Mexican, as long as you can cook.
Go eat a quesadilla.
Oh, that is so fucking white. That is so white.
Happy birthday, Spencer.
Happy birthday, Spencer. Woo!
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Spence. Un,
sir.
dos, tres, cuatro. Can we have our CFR all beat up in Mexico?
No, I can't come back.
Let's bring Kyle Busch with us.
What happened to Kyle Busch? What happened to Kyle Busch in that race?
Well, Richard Childress, he had an engine issue, and Richard Childress wanted to listen to see if he could tell what was wrong with it. They had RC come over there. Hey, son, have a drop by and let me see if I can hear if it's one of them valve stems.
Because like I saw something on Twitter the other day that I have never seen ever out of Kyle Busch.
I think I quote tweeted it.
It was wild. It's like that's just something that you don't ever see from Kyle Busch.
What he tweeted is like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild.
He tweeted that, and I was like, mood. But yeah, no, he had. He also kept locking it up like repeatedly. There was a stretch where he was locking it up into every corner. One of my highlights of the race was the Kyle Larson jump scare. In like the stretch of that goes through like the middle of oval 1 and 2 and back in.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Elliott, and it was like boom, and I was like, whoa!
That's the best driver in the world, though. He ain't make no mistakes. I bet you it was them damn Hendrick parts that ain't working, because the best driver don't do that.
They sabotaged him. They sabotaged him. Did you see him get booed at the Knoxville Nationals?
Good.
Larson did? What do you do?
Yeah. He wins.
He has to go beat up on some Oklahoma farmers in their 40s in order to feel good about himself.
Oh, I love it. What else is there to talk about in the race? I feel like, Tegan was shitting on it, but I feel like there was some definitely good aspects to it. Allmendinger and Blaney. Let's get our Blaney correspondent Matt in on it. What did you think about that whole deal?
That was interesting for sure. I kind of dig it, to be honest.
AJ Allmendinger is a stooge. What a bitch.
Whoa.
We need. You know what we really need though?
I feel like this year more than any other, like Blaney's on one, like temper wise.
Like
I think he's tired of getting fucked with. That's what Blaney's got going on right now.
For sure. I mean, hopefully we can still see. Hopefully we just get a Ty Dillon back at some point in time. That's what I'm really after. I hope that man just is spinning and we just annihilate the fuck out of that man.
Put him back in the 40. Put him in the 42, please. Put him in the 42. It's an open seat.
But no, I kind of like the aggression though.
Yeah. Now let's talk about. We'll be the Chase Elliott correspondent here, Sal. As the title of this, it's just another heartbreak, isn't it?
It sucks because I don't know what it was after the first pit stop. I thought Chase looked to be the fastest, and had I known that getting past McDowell before the end of stage 2, I think would have probably been for the win. I wish he would have shown more aggression. Because I think that the end of stage 2 was that where they were like all three under each other trying to get past Brad or something like that.
Yeah.
If I had known that was essentially gonna dictate who wins this race, like I would have wanted someone to send it in there. Fuck the other two.
That's what kind of Suarez did.
It sucks, and although you still have Daytona in a couple weeks, and that one anyone can win, I truly believe that this week is his must win. Yeah,
because he's won super speedways in the past, but hasn't been successful at Daytona. I don't really think that matters, but if you're Chase Elliott, this is the one that you have to circle. I mean, that gives me hope heading into Watkins Glen, which I think is going to let me down even more.
They're two completely different styles of tracks, though. Like.
No, but like for him to show that speed at the road course, which I think he showed more speed than he did at Indy last year, this week. To think about what he did at Watkins Glen last year, which was dominate, and lose towards the end, and for that to be a track that he won his first race at, and really, has ran really well at every race he's been at there. It gives me hope, but I'm going to put a lot of money on Chase Elliott this weekend so that if he wins, I'm going to be even happier, which I don't know. It's going to be hard. And if he loses, I'm going to be even more heartbroken, which is.
I'll be honest with you. I am all in on the NASCAR getting Chase Elliott into the playoffs script that's going to happen this weekend.
Okay, you think there's going to be some shenanigans?
There's going to be some shenanigans.
Okay.
They're not going to let the most popular driver just miss the playoffs.
Do we think if he finishes second,
We
whoever
can't do it.
wins has trouble with post-race?
Maybe they have tech issues. You know?
I wouldn't have been surprised if that happened this week.
I'm all for the tech gods.
Yeah. Take McDowell to the R&D center. It's not over.
I actually
The
think
election's not over.
I think you have a pretty good chance of it being the same two as your top two next week as well, because this is a track last year where McDowell
was strong last
he
year.
led the third most laps, and I know
So
rating wise, when you go to like the websites to like rate how strong the drivers were, he was second. So
Man, he pulled out driver ratings. Let's go.
So he was second last year
Matt.
behind Chase. So there's a very good chance you can see the top two again.
So what happens if, let's say, Larson is leading with 5 to go, Chase is in second?
Chase has got to send it.
What's going on
him
there?
out of the way.
I think Chase passes. I don't think Larson puts up a fight because you noticed early on, like every time that I've seen Chase around Larson lately, Larson has been very. I don't think Larson wants to be the reason why he misses the playoffs because that would only.
But we also have to remember that there is the NASCAR 100% rule that's kind of a little flaky.
I don't think he.
We don't want
but
a
if he
Michael
does-
Waltrip
but
racing
it's not going to
situation.
be. But like if Elliott passes him clean, and Larson's like, all right, I don't think Larson's gonna. If Larson spins him or like races him dirty for the win, I think that there would be a huge conversation at Hendrick Motorsports about that. And I think Chase Elliott would, like, you've seen Chase Elliott tantrums. I think this would be the worst one, considering what happened last year. And if that happens again, and that's why
Elliott wrecks him on the cool down lap.
Oh, like totally junks him.
Sends him over the fucking guardrail in the exit.
He pulls a Panther. He goes, I'm done.
I ain't racing with him anymore. I'm done. Kyle Larson suspended from Hendrick Motorsport.
Ken Schrader to fill in.
The Panther, baby.
The Panther in the 5 car to win the Owners' Championship. I'd love that.
We need to. We haven't had an SVG correspondent yet, Mike.
Am I the SVG guy?
Yeah, because you got to think about it. You remember you were the one that backed him up when you and Egan decided to get in a bitch fight about him.
I thought he did. So I'm just gonna say I thought he did really well at Indy, considering he had throttle issues and he was battling Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson for most of the race, who are 2 road course winners in the past few years, multiple at that, and 2 world-class NASCAR talents. I think that's really impressive for him. And for him at IRP, to get into a truck, a type of car he's never driven before, the next-gen car is not a traditional stock car for NASCAR.
This was his...
The truck is. And it's at a track that he doesn't have much experience, like a style of track that he has little to no experience at. And for him to run, mid-teens, I think, where'd he end up? 19th?
17th, I heard.
Yeah, he ran mid-teens to 20th all race, and I think that's a really impressive run for him. Especially considering that 41, Chastain has ran it a lot this year, and he really hasn't contended for wins in that car. The car on that team that's really strong is the 42 of Hocevar, who wanted to hang out in a museum with Michael Waltrip and give us one of the worst pre-race segments of all time.
That was so bad.
Sal and I have started doing watch parties for certain NASCAR events, and I was like, what is going on? They had like Michael Waltrip and Carson Hocevar in an illusion museum.
What?
It was so bad. But a great run for SVG. I thought I was impressed with him, and I think that next year we're gonna see what he's got. He's gonna run a lot of races next year. I think he's gonna start off by maybe running maybe he'll run Daytona 500. Who knows? But I think that we'll see him in double-digit Cup races next year. I think we'll see him in a handful of Xfinity and truck races next year. I think we'll see him maybe run the Colleague 10 car, or who else? Maybe he does what's Chastain run the 91 in that series sometimes.
91 in Xfinity, the DGM stuff.
I think we could see him there with Trackhouse backing. Definitely, I think we'll see him in trucks with Nice, because Nice is basically like a Trackhouse team now. I think they work pretty closely together.
Their sponsors are pretty
the
close.
Worldwide Express.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see him in a lot of series, and I think it's going to be interesting to see him next year. I think that SVG is going to be, if he's on Trackhouse, he will be a contender to he'll make the playoffs, I think, instantly in his first full-time Cup year if he's with Trackhouse. So I was impressed with him in all counts this weekend at IRP and at the Indianapolis Road Course. Is there anything else that we'd like to talk about before we move on from Indy? And then we start talking about the cut line, which we'll be talking about for a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
So let me get that up now. All right, let's share the screen and let's talk about what we got going on here. All right, so regular season championship, I think, is virtually in the bag for Truex.
Yeah.
Unless he has a nightmare next couple of races. William Byron has really faded fast over this.
But hell, he was third, but it looks like he passed Denny back after Indy.
That's just playoff points. That's like the.
Oh.
So Denny's third right now, it looks like.
No, yeah, those are points.
It felt like a few weeks ago that he's a 104 back at Truex now.
Yeah.
I felt like they were tied just a few weeks ago.
And William Byron has not had the greatest races, and this is like the worst time for him to start to fall off, because now you're getting ready to go into the playoffs and you're not having your strongest races right now. Like,
yeah, in the last 5 races, his best finish is 14th.
Yeah, I mean, you look at you finished 23rd. I mean, did he finish second at Michigan?
No, he finished 35th.
35th.
Okay, so 35th. So he struggled at Michigan. Indy Roval, or he wasn't the strongest at. I mean,
he also had 14th. I think is a pretty good result for him.
Oh, I agree.
Considering he had to do the pass through and all that.
Yeah,
which really didn't matter because there was a caution, but he started last basically.
But then you see him in 35th at Michigan, 21st at Richmond, 14th at Pocono, and then 24th at New Hampshire. Ever since his win at Atlanta, he is just not been good at all.
I will say, 4 out of the last 5 races, Tyler Reddick has came up with 40 or more points. It's kind of something
similar.
That's kind of something similar that Mr. Logano did at the end of last year.
So Reddick's starting to hit stride at the right time.
Matt makes the craziest predictions that always end up being right. Like the guy was shitting on the Yankees after opening day, and he was right. So
here's another thing too. If you want to get crazy, Chris Buescher had the same 2 back-to-back wins that Harvick had back in 2022. Is he doomed to have a Harvick stint in the playoffs where his parts just shit the bed?
Can we also talk about how weird the Indianapolis road course is that all 3 Indianapolis road course Cup Series races have produced a driver's second career win?
Oh.
All 3 of them have.
Allmendinger. Yeah, Allmendinger.
Allmendinger, second career win.
Reddick
was his second
Road America, and then that one.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You guys are pulling out some really good stats today. Everybody's on their game. Let's take a look at this cut line here, though. So Michael McDowell locks himself in with the win there. And this is where I think it gets pretty interesting now. You have Watkins Glen and Daytona, which if you tell me there's 2 new winners at those 2 tracks, then I won't be surprised. So Bubba Wallace has a 28-point gap at the cut line right now, which I think Daniel Suarez could take away this week. But you got to watch him, Elliott, Allmendinger, maybe even Haley.
God damn it.
Those are the guys that I'm looking at to win this week because they're going to be putting everything in. I think some of these guys, a lot of the guys that are in the playoffs right now, I don't think their eyes on what's happening right now. Somebody's phone is ringing. I think those guys are more eyes forward, as you've seen with how they've run lately.
Yep.
Like I don't think Truex is worried about these next 2 weeks. I don't think William Byron is worried about these next 2 weeks. Denny Hamlin isn't.
No.
Those guys are kind of set where they're going to be. Bell, Chastain, Busch, Larson. I think they're comfortable where they're at. I think that the guys you're going to need to watch for. I mean, McDowell, I expect him to be strong, but I think the battle for the win is going to be 99 and the 9.
I would still watch out for Ty Gibbs.
I think NASCAR has been at Watkins Glen for so long that Ty Gibbs is going. That's going to hurt him. Like it's just his lack of experience there. Chase Elliott, that is a playground for him. And I think Chase Elliott will have the car to do it because we saw it at Sonoma, which isn't historically one of his best, that he ran pretty well there. And then he ran well this week at the Indy Road Course. So if you're a fan of Chase Elliott, you have to be hopeful, which means that means our heart is going to get broken again. But let's imagine in a perfect world that he wins this week. The cut line to then move to Brad over Bubba, which wouldn't be a debate because that
would basically be a must win. If somebody outside the playoff wins this week to knock Bubba off, I think anybody else to get in is going to be a must win.
Which it's Daytona. So the cut line could actually be very interesting because it could come down to Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, they're separated by 2 points. Jesus.
Yeah. So if we get 2 new winners, only one of those 2 guys makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
That is where it could get very, very interesting.
Yeah. And what you were saying about the whole Suarez thing, this week Suarez outpointed Bubba by 32. And it's pretty easy to think that Suarez is going to finish at least top 5, and you put Bubba somewhere in like the 18th to 23rd area if he runs a good road course race, and that's how you could get your 32 right there again. So,
while Daniel Suarez is a good road course racer, have we ever seen him put on good runs at Watkins Glen?
Last year, I thought he was good.
Yeah, last year he finished.
I thought
5th.
He ran.
Yeah, last year he finished 5th. He was 3rd in stage 1, so that would have got him 8 points. And then he didn't finish top 10 stage 2. He finished 5th, so he had 40 last year, and Bubba had 2. So he outpointed Bubba by 38 last year.
That's wild.
His road course races are killing Bubba. They
are. Yeah, so there's a good.
But I think Bubba is in trouble regardless.
Yeah.
Because these 6 names right here, Suarez, Gibbs, Elliott, Bowman, Allmendinger, Cindric, I think all could be in for a chance to win. Cindric, I might be a little bit out on.
Honestly, I wouldn't even discount.
I
would throw Justin Haley in over Cindric, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fair. But we'll see. I think Bubba is. I honestly think Bubba's in trouble. Because to hope that there's not a new winner in the next 2 weeks, that's not a sound strategy. Because these are 2 tracks that one guy that's on the outside looking in that's very hungry is his best track. And then you have Daytona, which Harrison Burton's going to
Austin Dillon. What if Austin Dillon pulls out another one like he did last year?
If he does, I'm done. This podcast is over. There's your Daytona winner. Harrison Burton turns left. Okay, let's talk about NASCAR.com real quick, what they got here. So the favorite, right? What is this?
What is the favorite?
What? How stupid do they think their fans
Click on
are?
it. Click on it.
Okay. Personalize your NASCAR.com experience by saving your favorite drivers to your profile. Benefits include live tracking on Race Center and content specific to your favorite drivers.
Well, in their defense, I think the average NASCAR fan is relatively stupid.
Yeah,
it is pretty neat because I've got Chase Blaney, Logano, and Bubba marked as my favorites on my NASCAR app. And it's in any point in time when the race is going on, like say they're under like commercial or something like that, and there's like something on pit road, you could hit that little live scoring tab thing, and those 4 guys will automatically be on top. So it is pretty convenient. I will
definitely.
I don't know if it does it on a laptop or something like that. I haven't
Those are on the phone.
Track the race on the laptop, but on a phone it's actually pretty cool.
It is good. Yeah. We got the road wingers in this race are Lally and Rockenfeller, so they won't be a factor. No big names showing up this week.
Jensen Button's not in the car?
No, Lally is.
Who was that at the bottom? Was that Ty? I thought I saw like Majeski's name there. Oh, Bulicki. Okay. I thought I got replaced Bulicki for Ty Dillon's in this race. Yes, sir. All right, let's go.
He is full time, Matt. So
what's that? Yeah, that's true. He is full time. You kind of forget about the bottom.
He's forgettable though, yeah.
But
okay, I don't like to give people attention that I don't like, but this motherfucker of all people to come in here and say that, done, banned. It's a fucking asshole. That's stupid. Harris was late. Anyway.
Wow.
Ryan, calm down.
I didn't expect that. I was like, I just saw that. I was like, I want to see if Mike sees that.
I did.
It smells like chicken in here. I'm hungry.
I had Chick-fil-A.
Did you? Oh yeah, I saw that. You were snacking when you joined. Is there anything else you want to talk about? IRP, your boy Ty Majeski put on a show, Matt.
Yeah, it's good time for the first win of the year.
Kind of like last year.
Yeah, he would have been safe on points just because he was already like top 3 going into the playoffs. But yeah, there's no better way to pad yourself. You don't have to sweat the rest of the round. It'll be good. My picks are looking kind of decent here. We got Majeski, Austin Hill, and Tyler Reddick doing good so far.
Oh my god!
So
Matty the Wizard, let's go, dude.
Yeah, if one of the 3 hits, that'd be nice. That'd be pretty cool. But Tyler Reddick is following that Joey Logano trail from last year, where even if he doesn't do well in the race, he gets a good points finish. That sensitivity training from this week's race.
Oh man, that room is going to be chock full.
You got Tegan in there. You got everybody in there.
Yeah. Tegan has to do it like multiple times. He has to go through it. He has to stay all day.
I think he's just suspended for next year.
When I got my first speeding ticket, I got it like ASOD'd, which means like it goes away after a certain time. But I had to go to a 6-hour defensive driving class. That's going to be like Tegan's sensitivity training. You have to sit there all day. And the guy that was teaching the class just shat on the governor the whole time. It had nothing to do with driving. It was like that Cuomo's a creep. What's that?
How fast were you going?
I was going 61 in a 40.
Why were you going that fast?
I was 16.
He's a bad driver. Bad driver.
Yeah, you're right. I was 16. I was stupid. I'm still stupid. Oh, do you like my new decor? Right over here.
Do we like the new decor above your head that apparently you support? The New York Yankees.
Oh, they're actually beating the Braves right now off of an IKF single. Yeah. IKF. I told you IKF was gonna own you. We're gonna get swept.
You're gonna get swept.
It's 2-1 right now. So,
dude, Wessel, you don't understand how bad the Yankees are. They are so bad.
I know they're bad. They're
so bad.
The Braves are kind of coming off like a weird stretch right now. I don't know.
Perfect time for them to play the Yankees.
Braves haven't been great.
Yeah, right.
Not like how they have been.
I would love to mention that the Braves are probably going to get the lead right back because they have runners on second and third.
There you go. You just get anytime you need your morale boosted this year, just hope you have the Yankees. And you are good. We find new ways to lose every single day, it feels like, or at least every series. This is getting baseball talky now, but since
We can
the
talk baseball.
since the last
this is a baseball crew. Let's talk baseball for a little
since the
bit.
last week of June,
We're gonna switch. Okay, so this podcast is Checkered Flag Racing Podcast / Baseball Podcast. Let's talk
since the last week of June, the Yankees have won one series. That series was against the Kansas City Royals, also known as the worst team in all of baseball.
Great.
Are you sure that's not the Athletics?
Yeah, Oakland is pretty bad.
It was one of them. They're both really bad. But yes, the Yankees have won one outright series since the end of June, and that series was against one of the bottom two teams in the sport.
Jeez.
So,
so think about that. You swept the Royals, correct, or did they take one?
They probably took one, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not good enough to sweep.
Yeah.
And so you won that series, and you also had Herman pitch a perfect game against the A's.
Yes. Yeah.
But then Herman was also too hurt to start a game. But then he came into relief, right?
Yeah, but he was seriously actually drunk and was tearing up the locker room and making fun of a guy that was getting sent down to AAA, and now he's out for the year because he's an alcoholic. No, that's for real what happened. Yeah.
How about them Yankees? Jeez.
Yeah, but Aaron Boone said it was his armpit. Is he serious? Like, out of all the things you could say, it's his armpit? What? Just be like, oh yeah, he had a headache. He wasn't. Yeah, Spencer, they are 60 and 58. It's not great. I'm not happy. Chase Elliott's losing. I'm not happy. I don't.
He does not.
I'm an unhappy human being.
Bro, imagine Chase Elliott and the Yankees both miss the playoffs.
They're gonna. It's gonna happen. My favorite golfer, Justin Thomas, finished. So 70 golfers make the FedEx Cup, right? Justin Thomas is my favorite golfer. Never missed it in his career. He finished 71st. He missed it by one spot. I hate it. I mean, the Giants, they're going to blow it.
In play runs Nicky Lopez.
Absolutely fade the Giants this year. Heard it here first.
I don't know if I'd fade the Giants. I think they're going to be good.
They can be. I think Darren Waller's going to be a big pickup for them. We have gotten so off of NASCAR, but
it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It is now 3-2 Atlanta with a Nicky Lopez single.
There we go.
Are you sure that wasn't the garbage can?
We're actually losing right now to Miami.
Good. Good. I know how it feels.
It's 2-0.
We got cooked by fucking Jake Berger. It was ridiculous.
Jake
what inning
Berger.
is the Braves Yankees in right now?
Probably only like the second or third.
Second, bottom two.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about SRX. Final week coming up. Ryan Newman looks like he's basically going to clinch that. But Sal, our guy, this is his week.
The Panthers going to win this week.
The Panthers taking this race.
We've cheered for him week in, week out, and he's let us down. He's too busy saving tires is his problem. This is the week. Isn't this a dirt track too?
It's a dirt track in Missouri. This is Panther country.
This is Panther territory right here.
Yeah. Not Carolina.
He's gonna lap the field.
Dude, imagine. Yeah, last week was a movie. I mean, that wreck that happened last week, that massive wreck was so funny. Austin Dillon put up to SRX and completed 13 laps before his car died.
Chase Briscoe, Deegan, and Dreddy, they were all involved.
Matt Kenseth came to a halt. Right.
Who knew that they didn't need Paul Tracy to fuck shit up over there?
It was really just Dylan's engine that blew, and then
not last week, but 2 weeks ago, Paul Tracy's first race out was the first caution-free for incident SRX race since the series had started.
God.
Paul Tracy, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, some series get better when people leave. It has that effect. But anyway, is there anything else we want to talk about from the Indy weekend as a whole? Majeski wins, Gibbs wins. Oh, Ty Gibbs, that burnout, I did not like that.
Why not?
No, I know what you're talking about.
He did a burnout like in the cooldown lap in front of other cars.
Yeah, while there were still cars pretty much going. Yeah, I didn't see them talking about that.
And it's also a little disrespectful, honestly.
You're a cup guy.
Yeah, you're a cup driver that just beat Xfinity guys. They lost, and they got to see your smoke on the cooldown lap, and they're just trying to get in the pits and get out. Like, come on, we don't need that.
I don't even think that's the bad thing. I think the thing that makes this bad is, okay, he went off into the little runoff area
Then he started
wherever
doing
he
it
did.
on the track.
Yeah, then he started like drifting into the corners and just like spinning in the middle of the track. Like that in itself was dangerous.
I thought that was really stupid. And Tegan and I were talking about it before, and he just was saying, "Oh, you're just saying that because it's Ty." I'm like, "No, that's just stupid." Like I've never seen that before. I don't think.
I wouldn't say you've never seen that before, because didn't Tyler Reddick do that at Road America?
Looks like.
Did he go off though?
He went off into
the runoff area.
5. He went out to the runoff in turn 5 and was doing donuts, and then came onto the track doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
now granted, he wasn't
like
spinning off, like spinning out and like doing donuts.
Oh, Ty Gibbs was
like
doing it like egregiously.
Aggressive goes around.
Yeah, Martin Truck Drew's gonna be aggressive. Denny Hamlin out front. What a moment that was.
And granted, I'm sure there's people that's won at Watkins Glen and done burnouts in turn 1 runoff. Like, I'm sure it's happened before.
Yeah, but what Gibbs did,
but I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is, like we're saying, Gibbs like started doing it like in the middle of random corners, not just in runoff areas.
Yeah, he was just smoking up the entire
like while
track.
These guys were still trying to get back to pit road.
Yeah, it was. I didn't really like it that much. Anyway, let's get to picks.
Did I take McDowell this week or
Nobody? I don't even have it ready. Hold on.
Breaking news.
I'm so mad. You know why I'm mad? Because I was contemplating between McDowell and Busher, and I think I took Busher.
Yeah, you were right. I think I remember that.
Dalvin Cook is signing with the New York Jets.
God damn it!
NFL
you gotta be kidding me.
I thought you were saying something else. I was gonna get really excited. That offense is gonna be crazy though.
Yeah, but now you know to stay the fuck away from Breece Hall. That's something.
All right, so the winner actually this week is Bradley with Chase Briscoe.
Wow.
I can't believe I took Busher over McDowell. God damn it. Because I think I said McDowell first and then changed to Busher.
Yeah.
So let's see. So last, I believe the last one out of those, I think it's Kobayashi. Did he finish behind Rockefeller?
Yes.
So Sal, you are picking first. Who do you like?
Can I see who I have, please?
Yeah, I can update it real quick just to make sure it's ready for you. Oh, you picked Harvick. Okay, so it should be fully updated now. How many names are left?
I have absolutely no one. Give me Busher.
Busher?
I'm sure.
Okay, I thought you were gonna pick Haley, to be honest.
No. No, señor. Yo sé quién va a ganar la próxima semana.
What does that mean? Next week. That means next week. Next up, I believe, is JB, but
Allmendinger
it's
didn't
me.
Figure.
It's me.
Yeah, Allmendinger didn't finish well.
I picked Chase Elliott.
I was honestly going to take Chase.
So next up will be JB. I don't think I have his pick yet. Let me look. I don't. So then it would be Rockefeller. Then it's is it Busher or is it? Yeah, it's Busher. So Wesley, you're next.
McDowell.
Michael McDowell. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good pick. Then
I wish
next
I
up,
had taken him last week. I'm
I
mad.
believe is Tegan with SVG. I'll text him real quick if he has a pick. Do we think it becomes an Elliott and McDowell duel again this week?
Throw Suarez in there.
I would say Suarez probably.
Just the same three that ran for it last week, you think?
Maybe more a like Elliott Suarez type deal, because
Right.
I mean, Michael's gonna have he might hang around there, try to force them to get make a mistake for him to
He's not
kind of
gonna
just
be
steal it again.
over-aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll throw it to Sal here, or excuse me, Matt. Matt, who do you want to pick?
Have I picked Suarez yet?
No.
Yeah, I'll take Mr. Suarez.
Daniel Suarez for Matt here. And then Bradley, I'm going to make sure he didn't pick the guy that he wants. He didn't. He's going to go with Austin Cindric. And then by the time next week happens, or by the end of this episode, you'll see who Tegan or JB have. So it is Watkins Glen. Boys, does he do it?
Yes.
I think it's in the NASCAR script.
I don't even know if you could. I get it. It could be kind of in the script, but I think he does it just based off the fact of how he raced this week. Like if it had been Chase from the few weeks before this week, I would say no, just because you haven't really seen anything. You're just kind of going off prior history. But to see him actually have the pace, as Jeff Burton likes to say, in the car this week,
pace.
Yeah, just to see it in the car this week, and then to see him be able to keep the pace and have like even the short run speed, I feel like he's got a legitimate shot this week.
Ryan?
I think Chase is going to win this week, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Everybody needs to stop saying it. It's not going to happen if people keep saying it. Somebody say he's not going to win.
We should all say it.
Okay,
No, don't say it.
If it's not Chase, give me Michael McDowell.
Ooh, back to back. Wow.
You know, there have only been I think 3 drivers that have won back to back, or 4 drivers.
Byron, Harvick, and Busher.
Well, hasn't Chase? Chase has 2. Didn't he last year? He won back to back last year, right?
Did he?
No, he went on that crazy run where he was finishing like first, second, first, second.
I think it was like 3 out of 5. None
Mhm.
of them were back to back though. I can look though. But I mean, that would be kind of wild if Michael McDowell decided to go back to back.
I mean, it was kind of wild for Busher. I mean, while we were seeing speed at RFK, like we weren't expecting Chris Busher to go back to back on 2 completely different styles of tracks.
Yeah, he didn't. He went first, second, first, second, first.
Damn, what a fucking run to not like win 2 in a row. That's wild.
Yeah. 3 out of 5, you'd say they're going to win. Is Tyler Reddick a threat to win 2?
I don't think so.
I say always at road courses he's going to be a threat, but
I just don't think 2311 is there. With they've lost something on the road course package. I'm not sure what it is.
I also think Reddick is a little weaker at Watkins
At the Glen.
Other ones.
Yeah.
It's probably
I
his
still
worst
say
road
top
course.
6.
Ironically, because it's kind of, I think maybe because it's just not as technical. I think he's good at technical road courses, and Watkins Glen's just not. It's a
And I
fast
also
road
think
course.
a lot of the Cup guys have built up experience at Watkins Glen by now that he might just not have yet, because he didn't have good road course cars until the next gen car. So that's another point that you kind of have to make, because he was decent at road courses, but you never thought of him as a road course driver until he did what he did at Road America last year. Or even he was in contention at COTA 2022, right?
He was in contention at COTA. He won Road America. He won Indy Road Course.
Yeah.
I think wasn't he second at COTA? I believe. Was he behind Chase?
No, Chase didn't win COTA last year.
Who won last year? I can't remember.
It was the Allmendinger Chastain Bowman finish.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like Maddie with whipped cream out of the can or out of the tub.
Yeah, I don't have the hiccups. I don't know who it is.
It's Wessel.
Okay.
What?
You have the hiccups?
I did have a hiccup. Yeah.
Okay, they're the worst, dude.
It was only one though. It was one. We had one hiccup and it was gone.
It's interesting.
How's your AC?
Still out, but they're coming tomorrow. They're coming tomorrow.
You said tomorrow. Yesterday.
I wasn't on yesterday, Mike. Was I on?
You said
yesterday?
tomorrow like 4 days ago. You said
Oh.
tomorrow.
Well, they came
last
and fixed
podcast.
They came and fixed our water today. Finally.
Okay. What? Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah. So our house like kind of fell apart like last week.
Oh
Clearly.
my god.
The water was actually first. We had a huge ass water leak under the house.
Wow.
They fixed that today, and they're coming to do the AC tomorrow. It's
Who's
still hot as
they?
fuck.
Is it the same guy?
It's the rental company has people that they send out for that shit.
Okay. Is there anything that we want to go over before we get out of here? I feel like I'm missing something, but who knows? Oh, I want to talk about silly season. We had some news. Noah Gregson requested and was granted his release from 42 from Legacy Motor Club.
What were you about to say?
42 racing.
Yeah, 40,
4211 Racing.
4211.
Yeah, he's out of Legacy Motor Club. I don't know what I was going for there. So that's going to be an open spot for next year. I'm pretty sure we know who's going to be in it. It's going to be John Hunter Nemechek when they switch to Toyota.
Yeah.
The 31 remains kind of a toss-up, but leaning Austin Hill, I'd say right now.
Man, I like John Hunter, but I don't think it's a good move. I don't. Not for him.
I think Toyota likes him, so
yeah, Toyota likes him. How many years does Denny Hamlin have left? How many years does?
Well, I think that you can slot
Truex
him
have
over
left?
to the JGR after Truex decides.
Let's
to retire.
not forget that Hamlin still has
2024
not. This is like an underrated thing that nobody's talking about. Denny
Yeah.
Hamlin still has not re-signed with Joe Gibbs.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
Joe
But
keeps saying we're adamant that we're going to get him. Guess what they were saying last year about Kyle Busch? They were saying the same goddamn thing.
it was
never
different about Kyle Busch, though.
Well, he was losing
'Cause
sponsorship,
by,
but isn't
by
Denny?
this time, you heard rumblings like, "Oh, it might not be like Kyle
Yeah.
could go somewhere else." But Toyota's president said he'll be back. He didn't say that about Kyle Busch. He said, we'd like to have him back, but Toyota's president said he'll be back. I just stuck a flashlight on my phone, and now it's in my face.
Well, see, I think Toyota is set on Denny being back, but is that with Joe Gibbs? 2311. Let's not forget he owns a Toyota team.
I like that little fun play, Wessel.
I'm just saying, I'm surprised there's not like more
What number would
conversation
they
about
run
it.
as a third
Because
car?
the fact that we're going into the playoffs now, and usually most people are kind of signed up now. Like this is usually around the time where silly season is kind of starting to like wind down, and he still hasn't re-signed.
They're gonna have to pick a number that's not a Michael Jordan jersey. This could be a problem.
Maybe they'll just let him use the 11.
Yeah, maybe.
I would expect that.
I feel like Joe would probably give up the 11 for him.
Yeah.
That way, the 2311 team will actually finally have an 11 in it. 2311
Yeah.
runs the 23 and 45 car. In 67, there's no 11 in 2311 racing.
So yeah, we have that, and then it'll be front row locks up their driver lineup for next year. Mike
it's a good move for
McDowell, Todd
McDowell.
Gillen will stay. I think it's a good move for all parties except Zane Smith.
Smith, yeah.
Kind of leaves him out in the dark when it seemed like he was poised to take that cup ride from Todd Gillen, but Gillen to him. He's done the job this year.
Let's not act like Todd Gillen's been slacking this year. He's been doing good this year, even in the Rick Ware car. He's been running pretty well.
Yeah, he's faded off towards mid-season, but I think that I think that he's running well consistently enough that he deserves to keep that ride. And front row this is their best year yet, and I think that they shouldn't change it if things are going well. I just think that would be a silly move from them because they were going to have a car in the playoffs on points technically, which is like you wouldn't have thought that a couple of years ago. Ryan is sitting very provocatively right now.
Yeah, I can't sit up straight right now.
What?
I can't sit up straight right now.
Do you have to poop?
No. It just when I sit up straight for so long, it just like I don't know.
Where do they?
I don't even.
think Dade Smith goes. The 10?
I think it's an option. I don't think Eric Almirola is returning at this point. We haven't heard conversation about him resigning. I don't think he's coming back.
But it's about time he hangs it up.
Yeah.
If he wins Daytona, then he's coming back. If he doesn't win Daytona, he's fucked.
Nah, I don't. I think he's done. I think he's done either way. I think we've seen the last like this. I think Eric Almirola can go off and like he'll get a role in SHR or something.
I think we've seen enough of the Cuban Missile.
Wow, how's that enough? But yeah,
But we haven't seen up the nuclear missile, aka Ricky Stenhouse.
dude, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a straight up nuke. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was crafted in the lab by Robert Oppenheimer.
He's gonna do something fun at Daytona.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna sweep Daytona. Hot
He's
take.
gonna rock someone's world.
yeah. Anyway, anything else we want to talk about before we go? Where does Noah go next year?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
I just don't see.
Sensitivity
Not a cup
training.
ride, at least. Not a cup ride.
JRM.
I don't think
No.
it's JRM either. Because I think they're going to pick up Hosolar.
There's 2 spots that could be open there though.
Carson Quapple's taking the other one.
Carson Quapple is a good option. I think they need to move
What
him
about
up
Lane
pretty soon.
Riggs?
Here's
Lane
my
Riggs did
here-
really good this
He
weekend.
did.
here's
He had a really
here's
good performance at IRP.
here's my thing. I think Gregson fucked himself.
Well, yeah.
I don't think we see him in a NASCAR car again. Honestly, just because
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't
It's
go
in-
that far. But
if you
he's
see
not
him,
going
it's
to have
gonna
a
be in
good
a
ride next year. By any
it's
means.
gonna be a very bad back marker team. Fuck it, Rick Ware
I
Racing.
think
can
I
take him.
honestly think he'll be in a possible back marker car in the Xfinity series, like or maybe not back marker, but maybe like a midfielder type car, in the
Like
Xfinity
Jordan
series.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Like where Jeb Burton is. Like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to find a cup.
No,
ride,
not
so.
after that shit that happened. And he was terrible in the Cup car anyhow.
The only reation Kyle
Well, it's
Larson.
not his fault, Ryan.
The only reason that Kyle Larson was able
Okay,
to get a good
Okay,
ride.
so hold on. It wasn't his fault. Do I need to go back to the Chicago street race?
Oh boy. Bacon.
That could have happened to anyone. Kyle Busch
Bullshit.
ain't shit too. Kyle Busch
You'd
ain't
be-
shit.
You'd
Is he
be
dog shit?
Yeah,
Chase
You'd
Elliott
be
ain't
the-
shit. He is shit.
Yeah.
you would be distracted if your car was the Baconator.
He's baconating everywhere, dude.
Yeah, he baconated all over the city of Chicago.
It's because he got all the grease from the bacon on his tires.
If you're
Now,
not
surprisingly-
baconating, what are you
What are
like,
you doing?
But like comparing the Noah Gragson situation to the Kyle Larson situation, Kyle Larson is a much more talented driver than Noah Gragson. A and B.
Yes.
I mean, there was a good spot coming open, and there was already rumors of him like being linked to Hendrick Motorsports even before, the iRacing incident. So
I feel like if that didn't happen, he wouldn't have ended up at SHR.
I think so too, because wasn't Ford out on him after that incident? Like
Yeah.
Ford. I think Tony
Ford
Stewart
wouldn't
was
let-
going after him, but Ford said no.
Ford said no.
God, I wish they let him sign him.
Oh, Kyle Larson?
Anyway, who would be on Hendrick right now if SHR got
Corey LaJoy.
no? It couldn't.
No, I don't know who it would be, honestly.
It'd be like
No,
Jamie
Brandon Cup.
McMurray.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest,
He
with
would
you-
have never retired.
To
Kurt
be honest with
Busch.
you, it might have been like Noah or even. Nah, probably not Kurt.
Could have been Noah.
Honestly, probably Noah
I don't know if Noah at that point though.
was ready yet. That was, he
Yeah.
only had like what 1 year in the Xfinity series at that point.
Yeah, because if that's going into 2021, then he didn't. He kind of was.
he was
unimpressive
still
at
with
that
Joe
point.
Gibbs then, though, wasn't he? He wasn't even in JRM yet.
No, he was 2020. He was with JRM. That was
Was he?
maybe his first year there. Second, I think he started there in 2019.
Yeah.
It's tough
Because
to say, though.
2020 is when he got his first win with JRM.
It's really tough to say like who would have gone into that car though. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Ty
Clint
Dillon?
Boyer?
Do we
Who
think
would have
he's
been in that car?
worthy?
That's wild to think
Clint
about.
Boyer?
Ty Dillon.
I don't think Ty Dillon. You know what? Bubba.
Bubba was I think one of the people weren't
I don't
they?
know. I feel like Denny Hamlin. I feel like they made that deal pretty early on for him.
I don't think so. I think that was late because like that was a rumor before it was actually supposed to happen. Like Denny said, yeah, like they're talking about this. Should we do this? And Denny and Jordan were like, yeah, So yeah. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it.
What about Brad?
Brad? No.
Brad will stay at RFK.
Well, no, we're talking about 3
In
years
2020.
ago.
Oh,
I don't think Brad would have left Penske at that point, only if they offered him an ownership role, and I don't think Hendrick was going to do that.
Yeah.
Blaney, maybe, but I feel like he had signed an extension by then.
Yeah, I think he did.
So, yeah, who knows? What a different world we'd be in right now. Maybe Chase Briscoe.
Nah, Briscoe is slobs on Tony's not too hard.
Who would have been coming up out of the Xfinity series then? Because I have no idea.
Briscoe, Cindric.
Reddick, maybe?
Reddick, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It probably would have been Reddick, honestly.
That could have been Reddick. The timing of this announcement could not be any worse. As they said. I loved Richard Childress trying to diagnose the problem with Kyle Busch's car by hearing it go by.
That was a true American badass moment.
let me hear it. I'll tell you what's wrong. Like they said, yeah, Childress is gonna listen to see what's wrong with it, and then just did nothing. Didn't hear anything. Yep, something's wrong with it, guys. All right. Well,
where's Tomato?
Without the tuh. What's your name? That's gonna do it for us today, though. It was a good episode, fellas. One of our best, I think. Everybody tune in Thursday night to watch SRX to see what are we gonna see, Sal?
The Panther.
Yeah. It's Panther time, baby. He's going to victory lane.
Did you say tomorrow?
Thursday.
I thought you were going to confuse your Tuesdays and Thursdays again.
I did that last week.
You did do that last week.
Alrighty. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next week.